Folks, let me show you IntelliScreenX 7. Yes, indeed, IntelliScreenX for iOS 7 is here, and you can see the new little menu on the side allows you to access its various features. You can also swipe through the various sections as well. Now at the top you have your ticker, which is a compilation of your various feeds. You have your weather, which gives you hourly forecast and daily forecast. You have Messages Plus integration, where you can send messages, quick compose, you can quickly reply as well, and that's really just the tip of the iceberg. Here is Mail. You can access all your email from all your various email providers. You can open a message, reply to a message, read the contents of the message from within the lock screen itself, delete a message, mark it as unread, etc. So you can do quite a few things. And you can also access your Twitter timeline for the Twitter accounts that you have set up in the stock settings app. So here's my Twitter feed here. I have my timeline. I can read all the tweets contained in the timeline. I can tap a tweet and open it, reply to it, retweet it, or I can even open up the link associated with that tweet there. So that opens up the loop right in Safari. So I can just read that post there if I want to do that. So this is a good way to stay productive with regard to Twitter. You can stay up to date with all your latest tweets. You can even pull down to refresh the Twitter feed if it hasn't refreshed yet. You can also tap on where it says timeline to access your mentions. So if you just want to access the mentions that you have, you can do that as well and see who's talking about you. If you want to send out a tweet, you can do that by tapping on the plus button, tapping on tweet, and then just typing out your message just like this. So super simple, super easy to send tweets directly from IntelliScreenX, directly from the lock screen. So one day I'll get this tweet together here. All right, I think we are almost there. Let me just back up a little bit. There we go. So just tap tweet and it sends your tweet out just like that. So easy to do, all directly from the lock screen. Now I don't use Facebook, so I didn't configure Facebook because I just don't use it. But if you use it, you can do it. You can like posts and update your status, I guess, as well. You also have the RSS feed section, and you can add your own RSS feeds here, customize it if you want. It comes bundled with quite a few different feeds, so you can tap on those feeds, load up the feed directly in its own little sheet there, and read that feed right from the lock screen interface. So again, the whole premise of IntelliScreenX is to cram as much information as it possibly can right there at your fingertips on your lock screen, and it is nice to have. Now let's talk about my favorite new feature. This is called Slide. This is a brand new feature to IntelliScreenX, and it allows you to basically sort of multitask along with IntelliScreenX there. So you can slide over an app, for instance with Safari, and you can actually use two-finger gestures. You can hold the slide button while you scroll through the contents right there. You see, I'm holding it and still sliding through. I could slide back like that, or you can just let go and have the full interface and then tap the home button when you're done interfacing with the app that you slide over. Now, these apps are populated by the most recent apps in the app switcher. So you could see there, I have the settings up and I can just browse and peruse through settings, all the while holding with my finger on the slide button itself there. So I don't have to entirely take up the full screen if I don't want to. I can still have IntelliScreenX, or I can take up the full screen like I just did there and tap the home button to get rid of that screen. So that is Slide, and that's not only accessible from the lock screen, it's accessible from anywhere when you have IntelliScreenX installed. Now here is Notification Center. Again, this is basically the IntelliScreenX interface crammed within Notification Center. So you have the tabs at the top, your different views, you have your today view still, and again, like I said, you can still access your slide interface directly from anywhere. So you can be at your home screen with Notification Center open, access Slide. You can be just at the home screen itself and access Slide. And let's not forget Messages Plus, which allows you to quick compose directly from your lock screen, directly from a Notification Center using a little button in the bottom left-hand corner. You just tap that little button. It loads up the Messages Plus interface. And Messages Plus is a standalone application that is bundled in with IntelliScreenX. So it works hand in hand with IntelliScreenX. They're both developed by the same developer, Intelliborn, so they work seamlessly together, and it allows you to have a quick compose, quick reply interface right there from your lock screen, from banner notifications, from the Notification Center, etc. Now, I don't want to take up all your time here, but I'm going to show you just briefly some of the settings for IntelliScreenX. The settings are pretty simple. In fact, I think they're even simpler than in times past. Now, at the top of the settings, you'll see visible IntelliScreen pages. You can actually move those down in edit mode. So if you're like me, you don't use Facebook, you can get rid of them. You can hide those sections here. So now when you slide down, you'll see the main ISX page. You'll just see Twitter and Today. ISX page contains your normal notifications and, of course, the weather as well. Below here, you have some general settings enabled on the lock screen, so obviously you probably want to keep that enabled unless you just use IntelliScreenX from Notification Center. You have dimming options, you have lock screen blur or tint. Now I'm going to change it over to blur. You also have slide, which you can actually disable on the lock screen, and you can also whitelist apps. So if you have a passcode set, I don't have a passcode set in this instance, but if you have a passcode set, you can have apps that will load up regardless of the passcode. They will ignore the passcode if they fall under that whitelist. Now there's Messages Plus settings as well. You can outright disable Messages Plus if you don't want to use it. You can also show on the lock screen, and you can have that manual banner dismissal, which I'll show you here in a second. So here is the blur background on the lock screen. It looks a little different here. You get a lot more light shining through with the blur enabled there, no dark mode. And you can see I just have the home and I have the Twitter icon there, because I hid those other sections in the settings for IntelliScreenX. Now, let me show you one last little thing here. I'm going to receive a message from Sebastian. And this message, notice the banner notification has that little blue X in the upper right hand corner. I can tap that little blue X to get rid of the banner, but if I don't, it'll stay there indefinitely until you actually remove it manually. So that is an option you could set up in the settings for IntelliScreenX. Folks, IntelliScreenX 7 has been no doubt a huge undertaking for developer Intelliborn. It has tons of features crammed into the lock screen, crammed into Notification Center. It even has new features like Slide incorporated to mix things up a bit, freshen it up a bit, and make it feel like a brand new package. Now, no doubt, this is the same IntelliScreenX at its core that has, been released in times past. So if you always hated IntelliScreenX, then I don't think this is going to be enough to change your opinion. But if you've always loved IntelliScreenX, this is by far the best version of IntelliScreenX yet. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. This is Jeff with iDownload Blog.